The Man Who Vanished into the Night, the D.B. Cooper Mystery. On November 24th, 1971, a well-dressed man boarded a commercial airplane carrying nothing more than a briefcase. A few hours later, he calmly informed a flight attendant that he had a bomb. He demanded $200,000, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting on the runway. The FBI gave him everything he asked for. Then, he jumped into the darkness over the Pacific Northwest. He was never seen again. No confirmed identity, no body, no arrest. More than 50 years later, the mystery of D.B. Cooper remains the only unsolved airplane hijacking in American history. Before we begin, subscribe to Dark Archive for more unsolved mysteries, disappearances, and dark cases from around the world. Now let's open the file. On the afternoon of November 24th, 1971, a man purchased a one-way ticket under the name Dan Cooper. He boarded Northwest Orient Flight 305 from Portland, Oregon to Seattle, Washington. Witnesses described him as calm, polite, and well-dressed. He appeared to be in his mid-40s. He wore a dark business suit, a white shirt, a black tie secured with a tie clip, and dark sunglasses. Nothing about him attracted attention. He looked like any ordinary businessman traveling for work. Shortly after takeoff, Cooper handed a note to a flight attendant. At first, she assumed it was simply his phone number. She slipped it into her pocket without reading it. Cooper leaned toward her and quietly said, "You'd better read that note." She unfolded the paper. It contained only a few words. "I have a bomb." Trying to remain calm, she sat beside him. Cooper opened his briefcase, just enough for her to see several red cylinders connected by wires and a battery. Whether the bomb was real has never been confirmed, but at that moment, she believed it was. Cooper remained remarkably composed. He didn't shout. He didn't threaten the passengers. He calmly explained his demands. $200,000 in cash, 4 parachutes, and a fuel truck waiting when the aircraft landed. The pilots immediately informed air traffic control. The FBI became involved. As the plane circled above Seattle, authorities gathered the ransom money and parachutes. When the aircraft landed, Cooper ordered all passengers to leave. Only the flight crew remained on board. The money was delivered. The parachutes were brought onto the plane. Everything was going according to his plan. Cooper then instructed the pilots to fly toward Mexico City. He demanded they remain below 10,000 feet. He wanted the landing gear partially deployed, the cabin unpressurized, and the speed kept unusually low. These unusual instructions suggested one thing. He knew exactly what he was doing. Somewhere over the dense forests of the Pacific Northwest, the cabin pressure suddenly changed. A warning light indicated the rear staircase had been lowered. Minutes later, D.B. Cooper disappeared into the storm. No one saw him jump. No one knew exactly where he landed. When the plane safely landed in Reno, Nevada, he was gone. So were the money and one of the parachutes. The FBI immediately launched one of the largest investigations in its history. Thousands of soldiers, police officers, and volunteers searched the forests of Washington state. Helicopters flew overhead. Search dogs combed the wilderness. Divers searched nearby rivers. Nothing. No body. No parachute. No briefcase. No trace of Cooper himself. Years passed without a single confirmed sighting. Then, In 1980, a young boy made a shocking discovery while playing on the banks of the Columbia River. Buried beneath the sand, he found nearly $6,000 in decaying $20 bills. The serial numbers matched the ransom money given to D.B. Cooper. It was the first physical evidence connected to the hijacking, but instead of solving the mystery, it created even more questions. How had the money reached that location? Why was only a small portion ever recovered? Where was the rest? And what happened to Cooper? Over the decades, investigators examined hundreds of suspects, former military paratroopers, experienced skydivers, criminals, even ordinary businessmen. Each theory seemed convincing, until it wasn't. One of the most popular theories suggests Cooper died during the jump. The weather that night was brutal. Heavy rain, powerful winds, near freezing temperatures. Jumping into unfamiliar mountainous terrain, carrying a heavy bag of cash, would have been incredibly dangerous. Supporters of this theory believe Cooper never survived the landing. Others disagree. Some argue Cooper was an experienced military parachutist who carefully planned every detail. They point to his calm behavior, his knowledge of aircraft, and his precise instructions to the pilots. Could he have escaped exactly as planned? Another theory suggests the FBI investigated the wrong suspects entirely. Perhaps Cooper lived quietly under a different identity for the rest of his life. If so, he successfully fooled one of the largest investigations in American history. In 2016, after 45 years of investigation, the FBI officially closed the active case. The mystery remains unsolved. No confirmed identity has ever been established. No definitive evidence has revealed what happened after Cooper disappeared into the night. One ordinary flight, one impossible escape, and one man who may have committed the perfect crime. Did D.B. Cooper survive the jump? Did he die somewhere deep within the forests below? Or is his true identity still hidden somewhere in history? Perhaps we will never know. This has been Dark Archive. If you enjoyed this investigation, subscribe and turn on notifications for more unsolved mysteries, cold cases, and dark stories from around the world. Until next time, keep searching for the truth.